Hey guys, EDDBUD here, and it's time for this week's episode of the Running News. Welcome to the show where I try and pull together lots of running shoe related content into one easy to consume package. Let's get started. Story number one. So some images have leaked of a possible Invincible Run 2. Bet your bottom dollar that I'm very excited about that. Does appear to be some way off this one. They're saying it's a spring 2022 release, so you've got a long way to wait. You've got time to beat up your current pairs of Invincible runs. It doesn't look like there's an awful lot to get excited about here though, aside from more padding. Only a few minor upper changes here. It looks like they've got some additional padding around the heel because, you know, that was something that was really lacking on the first one. Midsole and outsole seem exactly the same as the current version. A classic Nike upper refresh. We've seen it many times, haven't we? They just simply refresh the upper very slightly and stay with the same midsole and outsole unit. So if this shoe worked for you first time round, then you're in luck. I can see how that might be a thing of interest. If it's just a small refresh, if it's something that's working for you on a daily basis, then that's great and I'm happy for you. The main issues I had with the upper were blistering on the outside of my toes, my big toe especially. That was pretty bad. Just loads of padding around the ankle that I didn't really need, and those awful thick laces that I switched out. I put some much thinner ones in there and got a better lockdown. It doesn't look like any of my prayers have been answered here though. All of those things seem to have stayed the same in this leaked image of the second version of the shoe. So my excitement is very much tempered for this one. There's a lot of talk at the moment about a Pegasus Pro. I don't know what that's going to be, what it's going to look like, but it just sounds a little more exciting and perhaps up my street, my cup of tea, down my alley. So if this is one you're getting excited about, I would assume it's going to be the same retail price as the current version and a spring 2022 drop date. That's what's rumoured right now. Big cushion, big money. Pretty much same as the last one. Story 2. It looks like the swoosh are beginning to diversify and utilise that awesome, very compressive ZOOMX foam in some other shoes. It's not one that I expected though, at all, when I first heard about this. It really did take me by surprise. So it looks like there's going to be a new Olympic release of the Nike SB Sandy Brewing. I mean, this is like a 50-year-old model. It's been knocking around for a long time. But they're going to update it with ZOOMX in the midsole and a carbon plate. So we're talking a skateboarding aimed shoe with a carbon plate in it. This model will be familiar to fans of Back to the Future. It is a shoe that appeared on the feet of Marty McFly. Though here we have an awesome Flyknit upper. I really like the looks of this one. Plus that translucent midsole look as well. It really does look the part. I love that seafoam green colour as well that appears on other parts of the shoe. Looks like we got some softer suede sections there, certainly around the eyelets there, plus that oversized swoosh that creeps down underneath the translucent midsole. I know it's not a running shoe, but it's a lovely looking shoe, and I'm hoping that they bring some of the ideas that they've had here for this shoe into some of their running shoes. I don't see any reason why you couldn't run in it. I mean, it's got ZOOMX foam there, a Flyknit upper. Why not? The tongue might be a little bit overly padded, but hey, it's doable. I don't sadly anticipate a wider release for this though. It looks like they're being given out to certain people at the Olympics. Maybe we might get a transparent midsole next percent too. I'd be all over that. If they release one of those, I'd be straight in there. I always used to like those clear plastic Game Boys that you used to be able to get, and those Walkmans as well. Anything where you can see in and see the circuitry. I think it would be an awesome release. Loving the see-through vibes in the midsole there. Please give us a running shoe related release with the same ideas. What do you make of this one, guys? Let me know in the comments. Story 3. I love a good Usain Bolt story. I mean, that guy's just an Olympic legend, isn't he? Recently he's been commenting on the use of those super spikes on the athletics track. People have been asking him whether he feels that those super spikes are going to endanger his 100 and 200 meter records. Bolt himself believes that he could have run under 9.5 seconds for the 100 meters if he had these spikes back in the day. He thinks those new super spikes with the lighter foam and the carbon plates and the AirPods and all the other stuff, that he could have run even faster. I'm pretty sure that that is the case. A lot of people reckon that Nike's top line spike that's available to some of the elites right now could be worth about 1/10 of a second over 100 meters. So I guess he could be right, looking at it from that perspective. Bolt doesn't seem massively upset though about this new generation of athletes utilising new technology. He seems relatively matter-of-fact about it. I mean, some people are getting slightly closer. Kind of strange though, those 100, 200 metre times really for the men haven't really changed all that much. There hasn't been that much progression towards them. The Jamaican legend is currently in training back on the track for the 800 metres actually. He's going to do like a publicity type event for an online company where he's going to aim to try and complete the 800 in less than 2 minutes. Imagine that. He's retired since, what, 2017, and he's going back to get in training and see if he can get somewhere near 2 minutes for the 800. That's just insane. What an Olympic legend, and he does seem to be a real top bloke as well. I did notice he's had a couple of kids recently and he's called one of them Lightning. Brilliant. Story 4. You guys know I like my short shorts when summer comes a-calling. So I was really impressed to see some new running apparel from the brand Satisfy. And it features some classic Sonic Youth album covers. I mean, this is a match made in heaven, right? Awesome running attire and the musical link. Sadly though, they appear to be some sort of designer brand and all of the stuff's really, really expensive. There's a variety of different running shirts and shorts. There's some like shirts and vests. There's some really interesting design ideas here as well in terms of the pockets, even with double pockets so that your keys don't jangle around together. These are the ideas that we need implemented in some more affordable running shorts. I particularly like the moth-eaten muscle tee, which is only 104 Earth credits. It's just madness. I reckon I could get Beast to knock up something very similar if I sort of angered her and frustrated her a little bit and gave her one of these t-shirts. She could make it look like that in seconds and at a fraction of the price as well. As I say, these are designer items, sadly not things you'll just be able to pick up in your local store, which does make this a bit of a disappointment really. I would have loved to be able to pick up one of these Sonic Youth running vests. They really do look fantastic. Look like they're made of some good quality materials as well. But sadly, it's not going to happen, guys. Cool idea again, but just wild pricing. Let me know what you think of that lot down in the comments. Okay, that's all the running news for this week. If you've got any cool stories that you've seen, do let me know on the email that's in the description of this video. A very quick musical interlude, because England are playing later. I particularly enjoy right now the 1970s England World Cup song, Back Home. Everyone's talking about, you know, it's coming home, 3 Lions and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, if you dip back to 1970, there's a real gem. Where the winning World Cup squad from 1966 obviously went off to try and defend their trophy, defend their status as the top international side. They had a brilliant song to back them up. Where it refers to all the fans back home, they were going to give their all in every single game. A stirring tune, and one that I particularly like the use of in the 1990s Fantasy Football League programme. Skinner and Baddiel knew just how fantastic this one was, and they used to utilise it to introduce the various different guests that would come in onto the show. Go and look it up on YouTube, guys. It's just hilarious, absolutely hilarious the way they used to do it. A stirring track and one to add a bit of variety to your pre-game fun and frolics, I suppose. Go and check it out. Back Home by the England World Cup squad 1970. Right, I gotta shoot. Thanks for tuning in today, guys. I very much appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and click the bell below for notifications when I launch those new videos for you. And it really does help the channel out too if you give this video a thumbs up like and share it with your running buddies. My name's EDDBUD, and I'll be seeing you